The launch of the JS Kongō in the early 1990s marked a pivotal moment in Asian maritime history, establishing Japan as the first nation outside the United States to operate the sophisticated Aegis combat system. For nearly 3 decades, this class of destroyer has served as the undisputed maritime shield of the Japanese archipelago, projecting an aura of technological superiority and disciplined deterrence. However, the security architecture of Northeast Asia has shifted dramatically since the end of the Cold War. The rapid ascent of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy, symbolized most potently by the Renhai-class cruiser, commonly known as the Type 055, poses a fundamental challenge to the established order. Analyzing the capabilities of the aging Kongō-class against this modern behemoth requires a dispassionate look at the divergence between upgraded legacy platforms and new-generation hull designs. At the heart of this comparison lies the fundamental difference in sensor philosophy and generation. The Kongō-class relies on the AN/SPY-1D radar, a passive electronically scanned array system. These iconic hexagonal radar plates have defined the look of Aegis ships for 40 years. While the system has undergone significant software updates, specifically the migration to Aegis Baseline 9 and 10, the underlying physics of the hardware remains rooted in 1980s technology. The passive nature of the system means a single transmitter feeds multiple antenna faces, limiting the speed and sensitivity compared to modern alternatives. In contrast, the Type 055 utilizes the Type 346B Dragon Eye radar, an active electronically scanned array system. This dual-band setup, operating in both S-band and X-band, allows each individual radar module to transmit its own signal. This architecture grants the Chinese vessel superior gain, detection range against stealth targets, and resistance to electronic jamming. From a purely hardware perspective, the Type 055 possesses a clearer, farther-reaching vision of the battlefield. However, hardware specifications do not tell the complete story of naval warfare. The enduring strength of the Kongō-class lies in the maturity and integration of its combat system. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force has spent over 30 years refining the protocols and algorithms of the Aegis system. This experience translates into a superior ability to filter clutter and manage false targets, a nuance often missed in paper comparisons. While the Type 55 boasts powerful raw output, questions remain regarding the software stability and the ability of its combat management system to process the chaotic data flood of a high-intensity engagement without overwhelming the crew. The disparity becomes most evident when examining offensive and defensive firepower. The Type 055 is a vessel designed with an emphasis on saturation attacks and power projection. With a displacement of approximately 13,000 tons at full load, it accommodates 112 vertical launch system cells. These cells are physically larger than the American-designed Mark 41 launchers found on the Kongo, allowing the Chinese vessel to carry larger, longer-range munitions. The integration of the YJ-21 hypersonic anti-ship ballistic missile onto the Type 055 fundamentally alters the tactical calculus. This weapon, capable of speeds exceeding Mach 5 with an unpredictable flight trajectory, presents a kinetic threat that legacy defensive systems struggle to counter. Against such a weapon, the Kongō-class, with its 90 vertical launch cells, finds itself outmatched in a direct surface-to-surface duel. The Japanese vessel lacks a comparable offensive reach, as its missile inventory has traditionally prioritized air defense over long-range land attack or anti-ship capabilities. Yet, characterizing the Kongo as obsolete ignores its specialized evolution. Japan has strategically pivoted these vessels from general-purpose destroyers to specialized platforms for ballistic missile defense. The integration of the SM-3 Block 2A missile, developed jointly by Japan and the United States, provides the Kongō-class with a capability the Type 055 arguably lacks: the ability to intercept ballistic missiles outside the atmosphere. The SM-3 Block 2A features a larger rocket motor and enhanced kinetic warhead, allowing for the engagement of intercontinental ballistic missiles during their mid-course phase. While the Type 055 is a sledgehammer designed to smash carrier strike groups, the Kongō has evolved into a diamond-hard shield designed to protect Tokyo and major population centers from nuclear blackmail. In this specific domain, the Kongō remains the superior asset, possessing a proven hit-to-kill record that Chinese systems have yet to demonstrate publicly with equal consistency. The strategic value of the Kongō-class is further amplified by its interoperability. A Japanese destroyer does not fight alone. Through the cooperative engagement capability and an advanced data link such as Link 16, a Kongō-class ship acts as a node in a vast sensor network. It can launch missiles based on tracking data provided by a U.S. Navy F-35 Lightning II or an E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, engaging targets well beyond the horizon of its own radar. This level of fleet integration is the result of decades of joint exercises and shared technological standards. The Type 055, while formidable, operates within a more insular command structure. Although the Chinese Navy is rapidly improving its data-sharing capabilities, the depth of seamless integration seen between American and Japanese assets remains a significant force multiplier that raw tonnage cannot easily replicate. Furthermore, the human element and material readiness play a decisive role in the longevity of the class. Despite their age, ships of the Kongō-class are maintained in a state of immaculate readiness, a testament to the rigorous logistical discipline of the Japanese maritime forces. The hull integrity and engineering reliability of Japanese shipbuilding ensure that these vessels can sustain high-tempo operations without the frequent mechanical breakdowns that often plague rapidly expanded fleets. In contrast, the Type 055 fleet is relatively new. The long-term durability of its propulsion systems and the ability of its crew to conduct effective damage control under fire remain unproven variables. History has shown that complex technology is useless if the crew cannot keep the ship floating and fighting after taking a hit. The specialized training of Japanese crews, focusing on damage control and automated system overrides, serves as a soft power advantage that balances the hard power deficit. Ultimately, placing the Kongō-class against the Type 055 in a one-on-one comparison reveals the shifting tides of industrial capacity in Asia. If the metric is solely total missile count, radar size, and hull displacement, the Chinese cruiser represents a generational leap that eclipses the Japanese design. The Type 055 is a true blue water cruiser intended to dominate oceans, while the Kongō is a destroyer optimized to defend a perimeter. However, naval battles are fought by systems, not individual hulls. The Kongō-class remains relevant not because it can outgun the Type 055, but because it provides a specific, high-value defensive capability that neutralizes the ballistic missile threat, thereby freeing up other assets for offensive operations. As Japan moves toward the construction of the massive Aegis systemic vessels to eventually replace these aging warriors, the Kongō-class continues to hold the line. It serves as a bridge between the era of undisputed technological dominance and the current era of near-peer competition. It stands as a reminder that while the quantity of tubes and the size of radars are important, the clarity of the mission, the integration of the network, and the proficiency of the crew are the final arbiters of victory at sea. The Type 055 may represent the wave of the future, but the Kongō remains the breakwater against which that wave must crash.